Hi everyone. Welcome back to part two of our lesson on algebraic processes. Now, let's try one that's slightly more intricate than where we were a moment ago. I'll have 7 over 2x, again involving fractions and ratios, minus 1 equals 13. So, order of operations, BIMDAS, working in reverse. So I've got a divide by, the vinculum is effectively a divide by. I've got a multiplication, 2 multiplied by, and then I have a minus 1. That minus 1 is the lowest priority. So let's deal with that. 7 over 2x, adding 1 would be 14. Lovely. Now I've got a multiplication and a division. These are equal. There's a divide by 2x and there's a 2 times. So I can choose whichever one I want to deal with. Or better still, I might imagine a bracket around the 2 times x and deal with the 2 times x as an entire entity. So now I've got 7 divided by something. What is the opposite of 7 divided by that something? Well, it's multiply by that something. So there's the 14, and I'm going to multiply by the 2x. When multiplying by a denominator, it just disappears. The opposite of divide by is multiply. So I've just got 7 sitting over there. That's interesting. Now I've got a 7. Yes, leave that where it is. Multiply this through 14 by 2, that's 28 by x. And now in order to isolate x, its opposite of multiply by 28 is divide by 28. That equals x, and I can see a chance here to simplify. 7 divides into itself once, 7 divides into 28 4 times. So my answer is 1/4. Now, I will, of course, check to see that this has worked by looking at the left-hand side of the original formula. I had 7 over 2 and a little container there for my value, minus 1. What did we think x was? We thought x was 1/4. So I have 7 over 2 times 1/4 is 1/2 minus 1. Now I'm dividing by the fraction half. The opposite of divide by a fraction is to multiply by its reciprocal, and I'd still have minus 1 patiently waiting there. So 7 multiplied by a fraction, this is really the same as 7 over 1. So 7 times 2 is 14 over 1 minus 1. 14 over 1 is 14, and 14 minus 1 is 13. And the right-hand side of this originally was 13 equals the right-hand side. Check, it worked. So a slightly more complicated example, but again, the message is clear. Think about the order of operations and run them in reverse to undo the equation you've been given. Let's try another one, shall we? So the next one I want to try will be, okay, let's do one like this. So 2x plus 1 all divided by 5 equals x take 7 all divided by, oh, they've got the same, oh, let's do that, all divided by 5. Okay, now we've got pronumerals on both sides this time. So there's an x on the left and an x on the right. We've got two ratios or two fractions, rational expressions. Remember, when there are fractions, it's a good idea to think of these numerators as contained inside brackets. Now, I can't really get to anything that's happening inside those brackets until I deal with what's outside. So I'm going to deal with this divide by 5. What is the opposite of divide by 5? It's multiply by 5. So I think this time I might actually write that explicitly. 2x plus 1 over 5. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. So x takes 7 divided by 5. I have chosen to, I'll just highlight what I've chosen. I've chosen to multiply both sides of the equation by 5. Now, very fortunately for us in this case, that 5 will cancel with the one in the denominator, as will that one cancel with this. So we're left with a pretty straightforward 2x plus 1 equals x take 7. Now we have to deal with the situation where we have pronumeral x on both sides of the equation. So this is, without being written, it's implied that this is a positive x. So the opposite of add x is subtract x. So the left-hand side is 2x plus 1 subtract x equals negative 7. So 2x take away x is x. There's my negative 7. Now I'll deal with this plus 1. The opposite of add 1 is take 1. So x is negative 7 take 1 is negative 8. Once again, we will double check this expression. Now because this original formula is a little bit more complicated, I'll have to do the left and right hand side as two separate steps. So I have 2 by, sorry, didn't mean that keyboard to jump up then, plus 1 divided by 5. Now what did we think x was? We thought negative 8, didn't we? So 2 by negative 8 is negative 16 plus 1 divided by 5. Negative 16 plus 1 is negative 15 divided by 5, and that's negative 3. Now that doesn't look like the right-hand side because the right-hand side is an expression. So I'll have to check the right-hand side as a separate step. It was x takes 7 over 5. So x will go in there, take 7 over 5. We thought x was negative 8. Negative 8 takes 7 is negative 15, and that comes to negative 3. They are the same. Both the left and the right-hand side come to negative 3. So we have confirmed our solution is correct. Once again, the main advice, consider your order of operations and run it in reverse to undo the formula you're looking at. Thanks for watching.